Lukman, welcome to the show. How are you this afternoon?
Thank you. I'm well. I'm very well, Imran. And yourself, how are you on this sunny Saturday?
Yeah, it's sunny. Where are you right now? You in Birmingham right now?
No, I'm not. I'm actually in Hertfordshire. We're a Luton-based company.
Oh, Luton-based,
My
okay.
colleague Abbas is in Birmingham.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so is it nice and sunny where you are right now?
It is indeed. So welcome. Spring is coming.
Oh, spring, it's on its way.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
yeah, we got a full house today. So we're gonna get straight into, because everyone's got questions for you.
Okay.
So we'll start off with let's start off with Ahmed. Let's start with Ahmed's question.
Yes, so my first question, it's a bit long, is what aspect of Abdul Sattar Edhi's lifestyle reaches out to you on such a personal level that you're motivated enough to help with the production of this?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Well, our theatre company is 24 years old, but when we reached our 20th year in 2017, we were actually having a very tough time, a lot of challenges. Running a theatre company is a major undertaking. And so we were looking for inspiration, and we read the autobiography of Abdul Sattar Edhi Sahib. It just gave us a high voltage boost of inspiration to continue our work, because no crisis stopped him. He continued his work through earthquakes, through train crashes, through all sorts of disasters. No matter what his situation was, he was there to help people all over Pakistan and all over the world. People don't realize that he actually even supported the NHS. His organization has supported the NHS here in Britain.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed.
So Ahmed, did you have another question?
Yes, sorry. Okay, my second question is what moment or event in Abdul Sattar Edhi's life can you relate to the most that inspires you to get through hard times or struggles on a daily basis?
So when Abdul Sattar Edhi was starting out his mission, he opened a medical dispensary to give medicines to people who couldn't afford to pay for it. And he wanted to give medicines to anybody. Didn't matter, no matter their color, no matter their religion, no matter their nationality. And a lot of people opposed him. A lot of people said, no, you should just concentrate on your own community, forget about everyone else. That touched me very deeply, because he had a love for humanity. And that's something that I'm always trying to exemplify in my life. So I would say that was the biggest thing for me.
Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you for that. Right now, let's go to Jury.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, Jury, and yourself?
Good, thank you. So I know that you write a lot, and in the future, I would like to write a biography book about my mom and her life's family during war. So what advice would you give me?
Be a keen observer of life. That would be the best thing. If you want to be a good writer, it's about learning how to learn from observation, because then when you sit down to write, your imagination is so sharp and is so creative that you will be able to put your creative memories down on paper. So I really think it's about cultivating the imagination. It's about looking at things from a wide angle, from a close angle, and then you will be a fantastic writer if you do that. And obviously listening to the stories of the elders of your community, because they will be related to the story of your mother. So those are the advices I would give as a writer myself.
Thank you. So I know that you speak multiple languages, so can I ask this next question in Arabic?
Yes, of course.
يقال بعض الشعراء يكتبوا قصائدهم وبعد الأخرى تكتب قصيدة، فمن أي شعراء أنت وكيف تولد القصيدة لديك؟
أنا أنا أكتب الأشعار بالإنجليزية، في أغلب الأوقات، لكن أحب من الشعراء ابن عربي وفي العربية، وفي الفارسية جلال الدين رومي، وفي الأردو علامة إقبال. ففي كل تلك اللغات الثلاث أحب الشعر والشعراء. وشكرا.
Can we have that translated now?
So from what I understood, she was asking me about poets and poetry, and what sort of poets and poetry I like. Did I get that right, Jury?
Yeah, so I said that some poems, like some poets write poems about their life and their story, whereas others talk about someone's story. So I said, which one do you do, and how do you generate your poem?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I slightly got it wrong. Yeah, it was very surprising. Yeah, can Arabic question. So yeah, I write poetry, and it's mainly around issues of wisdom and love, to do with my own life, but also inspired by experiences that I've had in the world. I haven't written Arabic poetry in a long time, unfortunately, but there is some in my diaries. Yeah, so I hope that answers the question.
Thank you for that. Right then, let's go to Ben Korshel.
Hey man, how you doing? You all right?
Well, Ben, I love your setup.
Thank you.
He's in our downstairs studio right now.
All right, okay.
Yeah, he's in our downstairs studio, and the rest of the crew are all at home, being locked down.
All right, okay.
The reason why Ben is in our downstairs studio is because straight after this show, he has a 1-hour show.
Awesome.
Okay then, Ben.
Right. So as I know, you guys help in the theatre industry and stuff like that. What advice would you give to someone of a Asian background who's wanting to go into theatre, who's wanting to go into writing poems and stories and stuff like that?
My advice would be follow your dream. Don't underestimate the power of art to facilitate inspiration in people's hearts and minds, and to facilitate positive change. My move into the arts began when I was in high school, and I was cast to play a central character in a game about video game addiction. This is back in the 80s, right? When you had to go and play Pac-Man and Star Space Invaders.
Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, Mega Drive. So, it's a whole different world from what we have today. So I was playing the central character in this play about, having video game addiction. And the experience of doing that at that age, at 15, was so powerful that theater has stayed with me. And now, I'm a producer of a theater company that has an audience around the world. So arts and culture are very valuable and so important, especially for our minority communities, especially for Asian communities, because I can tell you, having worked in this area for over 20 years, we don't have enough Asian actors. We don't have enough Asian poets. We don't have enough Asian writers. We need more. And so I can only encourage you to follow your passions and help people to understand that beauty is powerful.
Thank you. Thank 100%. You. Thank you, Ben. Right now, let's go to Zero.
So my question is for you. So I do theatre as well. I perform in the Playhouse. So my question for you is, I want you to tell all our listeners, what is it like? What's the struggle of doing theatre? Because there's so much behind the scenes work that I don't think people see as much as others. Well, of course. So it's so hard, and doing this to do with like cultures and like, what was the kind of reaction, and like explain for listeners like how that works, because it's really hard to imagine if you're not in that sort of industry.
Thank you, Zero. Yes, this is something people go and watch theater, and it comes across to them that people are just playing on stage. But in actual fact, it's a resource. It's probably one of the most resource-intensive art forms. You have multidisciplinary skill sets, operating behind the scenes. You have costume designers, set designers, makeup artists, you know, graphic designers, because, you know, you have to do the marketing, and then you have the actors, and you have the directors. I mean, you need for every theater production, you have a team, which most people don't see. So it is a very powerful medium, but also a very demanding medium, because it, you know, and then you have to finance it all, and that's the other side of it, what people don't understand.
Yeah.
When they look at budgets for theater, they think, oh, well, what's all this money going on? Well, it's going on people, really, because theater is about people. Whereas a lot of people tend to think about, when they think about money, they want objects. But the resource that you're using in theater is people, and you have to have a value for people. You have to be prepared to invest in people. So without a mindset of investing in people, you won't really have good theater. So in this country, theater has such a long, you know, illustrious history, because people have understood that the value of the creativity of a person and the imagination of a person and the dream of a person are worth investing in. And that's something that perhaps in our minority communities, we are still struggling to understand. So I'm really happy to hear that you're in the theater, and I hope to someday cross paths with you and maybe work with you.
So my next question is, so a lot of theatres, and my theatre especially, the Playhouse, we're moving to doing our performances online. The Herald and other theatres, you know, they're doing their things through Zoom, and you know, it's been a whole spectacle. So are you guys doing that? And if so, how has that worked for you? Because a lot of us are finding it really hard to be able to do our performances through Zooms. There's so many camera angles and so much new equipment that we have to get. So how's that working for you guys?
I hear you, Zero. I hear you. You know, we were so fortunate that when the pandemic hit, we were just coming out with 2 promotional films about our live touring. So we released those just as the pandemic was basically making its impact. And so that gave us time, some breathing time, because people had something to see from us, for us to then make that transition to producing online. So since April, May, we've basically been doing all our work online, and we've experimented with a number of different approaches. Mainly it's been around adapting theater for film. So we haven't done what a lot of people have done, which is try to do Zoom theater, which is so there are many different approaches people have used. Ours have been more performance storytelling adapted for film, but using different approaches. And we have been, I have to say, we have been very successful. I mean, we go from reaching 8,000 to 10,000 people live in a year to reaching 300, 400,000 people around the globe. So, you know, that's a silver lining, right? That if you can make that transition, you know, there are huge rewards in terms of reaching a global audience.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for that. So tomorrow would have been Abdul Sattar Eddie's birthday. And tomorrow is the day where we have the online theater. And yeah, tell us how people can, tell us a bit about the story first. Tell us a bit about what to expect, what we're going to see.
You know, for people who love stories, this story has romance, this story has mystery, this story has adventure, has tragedy. I mean, in 40 minutes, you get all of that and more. And it has a lot of pathos, a lot of emotive energy in the story, because, you know, Edie Saad's life is just so powerfully emotive. So yes, I mean, that's really, sorry. So that's really the story. We follow Edie from Banfa in Gujarat in India, through partition and migration to Karachi, and we follow him as he develops his mission, Edie Foundation, and the challenges that he faces, but also the achievements. And really what's most beautiful is how the Pakistani people come to rally around him to help him grow this mission. And so that we tell that story basically with one performer, Ezra Farouk Khan, who was in The Kite Runner, in Doctor Strange, the film Doctor Strange. So we have a really lovely actor who is able to pull off, because, you know, as we was talking about with Zero, under these conditions, pandemic conditions, you can only have so many people. So we've just kept it simple, small scale performance storytelling in a black box studio theater, but using images. I mean, we use images going back 70, 80 years to the
Oh,
partition.
okay.
Time.
So there's one actor
One actor,
playing different parts,
different playing different
and then you're
parts.
bringing all the images in.
Images, music, sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a multimedia experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for lockdown, this would be a proper full-on theater, wouldn't it?
Yes, if it wasn't for lockdown, we were planning this to be we will be touring this live now, but you know, we have had to do it. Like I said, but the benefit is now, you know, we already have over 200 people signed up, 200 households signed up for this. So I mean, 600 plus people, right? So yeah, but
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds good. That sounds good. So this takes place tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and if you want to know more, go to our website, Khayal, KHAYAL.co.uk, and on the What's On page, there's ED Means Love. All the information you need is there. Come and join us. There's going to be a fantastic conversation afterwards with one of the most influential writers and activists in Lahore in Pakistan, who actually wrote Edie Saab's autobiography, Tamina Durrani, for those of you who recognize her name. She's going to be with us along with 2 other panelists. And then we're going to open the floor up for conversation. And we're going to talk about humanitarian values. We're going to talk about key workers, all of those people who are keeping this society running under the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to get a real good shout out in the event.
Wow, look forward to it. And as you just mentioned, Abdul Sattar Edhi means love.
ED means love. That's
ED. Is how you say ED, not
yeah,
Eddie.
ED means love. ED is Gujarati. We tell the story of the name in the play as well. So ED means love. That's the name of the piece. Yeah, I don't want to give too much spoiler because there's a critical point where we actually talk about the name ED and where it comes from and how it's come to mean what it means now.
Oh,
so
okay.
If you want to know more about that, you got to come and join us and hang out with us for an hour and a half or so. Yeah,
an hour and a half tomorrow, and it starts at 6 o'clock and it goes on for an hour and a half. Something you should not miss, and really go get your tickets. Yeah. Okay. So look, man, thank you for joining us. Before you go, if you'd like to talk to us a bit more about like prior to lockdown, you used to do a lot of plays. Obviously, you said you've been in the industry for 20 years. I did a little bit of theater, and I must say, and I've done a bit of acting. So theater and acting is two different things, which a lot of people don't realize is totally different. Like when you're in theater, you're like, you're projecting your voice, and you're sometimes acting totally different to how you would act if you was like making a film.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Film acting and stage acting are very different skills sets. Yeah, obviously there are crossovers.
Yeah.
But for us, you know, we have another element, so which is storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those different arts are interrelated, but an actor who's a film actor is going to have a slightly different skill set from one who's a stage actor, and then a performance storyteller is going to have even different skill sets.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is we try to mix and blend them, and that's what Ezra Farouk Khan does in this piece, which is why it's really great, because he blends storytelling, film acting, stage acting. So you get to take all of those different skills. So if you're an aspiring actor, this is the piece to see, because it's going to give you some insight into how you can weave those art forms together.
Yeah, and one more thing, when you're an actor and you've got the cameras in front of you, and if you forget your lines, you just rehearse and then just do it again. But when you're live on stage and you've got like a 1 hour show and you're playing different characters, sometimes, you know, you could like forget something. But how do they overcome that?
Well, I mean, through skill, through practice. I mean, you know, you go to drama school and you learn techniques of how to memorize lines, and how to, you know, keep there are all various ways and techniques to it, but really it's about understanding and living a story for us as you know, and how we look at it. It's about living a story. So the more you can live the story, the easier it's going to be for you to remember your lines, right?
Yeah.
If you just try to remember your lines as sort of, you know, separate elements of it, then it becomes problematic.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So a lot of it has to be spontaneous and off the top of the head also.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, because for us, acting as a holistic art form,
Mhm.
we want to see your eyes telling the story. We want to see your heart telling the story. We want to see all of you telling the story. So we don't want it just to come from here, because otherwise it won't be really convincing to people. So a really good actor is living the story in all respects.
Yeah.
So and if you look at some of the really great actors,
Yeah.
you'll see that they're completely immersed, infused with the story, and that's what we love.
Oh,
But
thank
yeah,
you.
you can get away with that type of in film. You can get away with just off the top of your head,
Yeah.
because you can hide in film, but on
Mhm.
stage there's no hiding. People can see what's happening.
Okay then. So before you go, is there any last thing you would like to share with everyone, or tell people where to find you on the social media?
Well, I just like to congratulate you, Imrano, for having these trainees with you, working with you like this, and helping to develop their skills and experience. Because I mean, I've done a lot of interviews this week, and it's the
Yeah.
first time I'm meeting young people like this, and it's very heartwarming to see this. And
Oh, thank you.
really need more radio stations to be doing this type of thing, so that we can be, developing talent and having talent coming through the pipeline, with new ideas and stuff. So that's the only thing I can say.
Oh, thank you for that. We're happy to have you on.
Pleasure,
Thank you
thank
for that. So one more before you go. Where can everyone see the show tomorrow?
So if you can go to our website, Khayal, Khayal, khayal.co.uk, and on our What's On page, there is Edie Means Love, and all the information is there. You can book and come and join us, and we look forward to welcoming you and to hearing your impressions of what Edie Sabs says to you, to your heart, to your mind, to your sensibilities. So yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. And hopefully, when the lockdown and everything is over, like I love theatre. I love going to watch theatre, especially in London. I go to see a lot of theatre. One day I might watch one of your theatres.
Well, and if you're an actor, Rano, you might be in
No,
one
I
of
don't
it.
act. I don't act. I try to, but I can't. I'm not good at remembering lines.
All right,
That's my
okay.
problem.
We can give you a silent part, or
Yeah, that will do.
you can tell the story without speaking. You can be, very
Yeah, off
communicative.
the top of the head.
Most communication is nonverbal anyway. So
That's true. Right, then we're going to go into our 1 o'clock news now. So thank you for joining us. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to Abbas. Thank you, Lukman. And we wish you all the best for tomorrow. And we'll be watching.